So the behavior that 12.5.4.x used to display off the highway is now brought itself to the highway, but only when we're alone. Creeps through that opening nice and slowly. It's pulling in front of that car. I think you guys can see better in the camera than I can see with my eyes right now. Oh, it didn't like something right there. Well, howdy do. I am leaving my house late for what I call the Fairview route. It is 296 miles today. The route is taking me from Grand Rapids to Farwell. We're going to do a supercharger there in Clare. We're going to go to Gladwin, then up to Fairview. Pick a lane there, car. And then we're going to end up in Bay City tonight. It says charging needed to reach destination. Of course it is. I'm going to get to my facility at 38%. It's an hour and 37 minutes away. It's 104 miles. I left at 78%. And I'm going to hit a supercharger in Clare. I just don't want the car preconditioning quite yet, especially because I'm going to get to the facility and it's going to get cold again because it's 43 degrees outside. I'm trying to play it smart today. So let's see how the car acts. Let's see. I'm in standard mode. No, I'm in hurry. I'm in standard mode. So we're going to leave it there. 40% offset. We're going to let the car choose what it wants to do. I think at some point I'm going to, when I'm driving on the back roads, I'm going to switch it to the hurry mode to see if the speed goes any better. Hopefully that'll be the case. All right, hope you guys enjoy the ride. I'm not going to deal with the auto wipers today. We all know that they're trash pretty much. So if the car needs to wipe, I'm just going to hit the windshield wiper button. I might even switch it up to level 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what it needs. I'm going to go around this person. Oh, I didn't have to take it out. I just sped up. Good deal. I want to be over there. I'm surprised the car isn't going over there. So I pushed the blinker button to get us over here. There we go. We got it jumping around. I'm amazed that it can jump around that much and the car can still figure out what's going on. This side's not jumping. So all the water's over there. I'm glad to see that the car is now back in the center of the lane. That's one, instead of hugging the right like it used to. It still does it every now and then, but it doesn't just stay there like it was in 12.5.4. whatever. This is good behavior. We are using 290 watt hours per mile. That has a combination of speed and temperature. It's 44 degrees outside. So the car is trying to keep the battery warm. It's using a little bit of energy to keep the battery warm. It's not nearly as detrimental as I thought it would be. And I'm kind of impressed by that. In fact, it says now we're going to get there at 40%. Oh, really? I suppose there's a person behind me. I don't think they're going to pass, though. Yeah, he's getting behind. Surprised by this. The car was doing 79-80. Now it decides to go 76. Are we going to go under the speed limit? We are. I can't deal with that. So I'm going to step on it and see what the car does. All right. That's what we want. Wonder what made it get stuck behind that car. Yeah, so there's no one behind me. The car in front of me is a good distance away, and we're doing 76. We were doing 82 when I stepped on it. It did slow down to about 78, and now it's just slowly going back down. So the behavior that 12.5.4.x used to display off the highway is now brought itself to the highway, but only when we're alone. If there were cars around, we would be matching their speed. In fact, there's a car coming up. So I'm curious what the car is going to... Oh, it sees it and it's going to speed up. So getting past. Car's doing 77. Let's see what happens. Oh, no response. 78. So now he's pulling us forward. 79. There you go. Up to 80. It's shocking to me because you would think it would be safer to go faster when no one's around. But when people are around, it decides to go faster. Seems a little backwards to me. Yeah, up to 81. We've dropped to 287 watt hours per mile, and we're projected to get there at 41% now. And we're slowing down now, so that truck is no longer directly in front of us. So that van actually touched the dotted lines in the middle, and the car did not slow down. But in the past, if anything touched the middle line there, this car would slam on the brakes. So maybe it's more confident that if that car continues to come over, it still has room and time to slow down and or stop and or perform some evasive maneuvers. I guess it's a positive then. I so love that the car is hanging out in the right lane and not the left. It makes my heart all kinds of happy. And there's been no reason that it can't stay over here. When it needs to, it gets right over. Or it slows down for just a smidge and then gets over when it can. Yeah. So this is a pretty long exit ramp. And the car got below the speed limit on the highway. It doesn't need to slow down on most exit ramps while you're still on the highway. There was a car behind me that had to go around because I was slowing down. I don't consider that good road etiquette. Oh, that was unnecessary. You were stopping, you were fine. This is good. That was the wrong lane. It figured it out nice and early and it got over here. I appreciate that. Speed limit is 55. I'm in standard, 40% offset as recommended. See what the car does, how it behaves. There is a truck behind me. It's not going quite as fast as we are, but we are speeding up. 53 and a 55 seems to be where it's settled in. There's a stop coming up here, so I'll leave it be. This is an always stop with a blinking red light. I'd like to see how the car handles that. And see if we slam on the brakes here at the last second. And we do. But we go, like we should. So it's a little unnecessary, I guess. I think brake tapper's keeping its name. Still 53 and 55. We're running at 283 watt hours per mile. Still going to get there at 41%. I'm going to step on the accelerator. See what the car wants to do. See, just a little tap and it goes all the way up to 64. I think that might actually be too much, but yeah, 62 is where I would like. And the only way to get it to do that is to reduce the max speed. 62, perfect. And it might be slowing down because we're coming up on this semi, which is fine. Wow. I didn't think the car was going to stop. So this is really late braking. It used to be too much too soon. Now it's too little too late. So there is a car right behind me. That fisheye lens really blows my mind because that car is way closer than that looks. But he's right behind me. The car's doing 63. It would not be doing that if he was not that close behind me. So now I think it's going too fast. It should go the 61, 62 that it was doing when it was alone and not worry that someone's behind it. There we go, 61. That car backed off a little bit. See, now 57 is not right. We're going to do speed limit reduction coming up. I'm probably going to have to throw the max speed down. There's 45, we're doing 56, so I am going to lower it. I set it to 50. Car dropped down to 45. It's preemptively speeding up. I like that. It's taking its sweet little time. 43 and a 55. That semi that we passed earlier is still right behind me, and it's coming up. So there we're stepping on it. 49, 50, 51. Okay. Okay, we hit the speed limit. Perfect. But it took so long to get there. If there was a lot of traffic behind me, it wouldn't have been good. I would have had to step on the accelerator. We saw how it performed in standard for that stretch. I'm going to put it in hurry. And it immediately speeds up. Now, where is it going to go? Because that's too fast. Oh, no. So in a hurry, it decides to go 12 over the speed limit. Slowing back down. I'm going to give it a minute just to see what it does. All right, it's slowing back down. If it would settle in at 62, that would actually be good. I would really appreciate that. And then I would drive in hurry on the back roads and standard on the highway. So there's 62. One or more cameras occluded. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, the back camera. It's toast. And the right repeater is still bouncing around pretty hardcore. This doesn't seem to be an issue for the car, but that's worse than before. So a user named John SOS asked me how I know the car is using the friction brakes. I answered him on comments, but visually I think is more helpful. That little black line that's right by my finger is telling me that the car is accelerating and expending energy. The further up it goes, the more energy it's using. You notice it got smaller because it's slowing down. Now it's gone green and it started heading downward. That's regen. And then that little black part at the very bottom, I don't know if you saw it, my hand might have been in the way, but you'll see it again in a second. That little black part. There you go. That's the friction brakes. When you see that black part, you know the friction brakes were applied. You could actually hear it. You heard the brakes engage, and you felt the car really stop. Really, really stop. That's the way I know. I hope that was a little bit more clear than my typed out answer. So we started from 0 back at that stoplight, stop sign, four-way stop intersection. And the car decided 56 is where we want to go. I'm okay with that because in standard, it wanted to go up to 55 if I was lucky. I was really doing 53 and then it would sit there. But now we're doing 57, so I honestly think hurry on the back roads is better because it's not like we're going to do a lot of passing or anything. I don't have to worry about staying in the left lane because there's only one lane. And yeah, it's still picking up speed. I thought 67 was too much, but 59 to 62 is perfect. See, if you ask me, this should be hurry, standard should be right at the speed limit, and chill should be the 2 or 3 miles per hour slower. Unless you're going to create the chill plus and standard plus that I asked for. Doubt that's going to happen. Dude. Oh man, I wish I could visually represent what the car just did. We can go after this Honda, but we're going to wait because there's a funny little highway on-ramp right there, and the car doesn't know that those people aren't coming to us, they're turning. It always waits a little bit longer there than it should. Right to there, please, and thank you. It is right next to a curb. It'd be a little bit of a challenge. I'd be really impressed if we did this in one move. No going forward. Awesome. Well done. Nice. Perfectly in the center. Wonderful thing. Back camera seems to be better. Yeah, back camera's good. We got here at 39% as predicted. If we were to go directly to the next facility, we'll get there at 29%, but that's not what we're going to do. That trip was 105 miles. It took an hour and 37 minutes. Used 269 watt hours per mile, which is actually, that's about right. No, it's a little higher than what I normally do. Normally it's about 250 going those speeds. That's not too shabby. I'll stop and get something to eat. I'll supercharge and call that my lunch, and then I'll go to the next place. So it thinks I'll get to the hotel at 16%. I'll probably let it do whatever it's going to. I'll probably overcharge, to tell you the truth, because I'm going to sit there and eat my lunch and figure out emails and whatnot. All right, let me take care of this facility. I'll be back in just a sec. All set in there. It was about an hour. Just a little over. Subway is 11 minutes away. It's 7.7 miles. I'm sitting at 38%. I'm supposed to get there at 34%. Fun test is to see if the car can get me out of the parking lot and if it will go on its own without me pressing the accelerator. It could go either way. So this I'm fine with. It will have to turn left once it gets out of here, though. A little nervous about that, but that's okay. Figured it out. Clear to go. And we do. All right. Right to 55. I love to see it. Going into a 35, we are slowing down. We got down to 42 when we hit the 35. I'm assuming it's because there was traffic in front of us. It was forcing us to slow down. Up to 45. Car did go from 37 to 38. There is a van going a little slower in front of us. Obviously, they weren't close enough. We had a car turn in the gap. But it's not worth stepping on the accelerator for. We are in a 55 now. So the car says it wants me to stay at that charger for 20 minutes. I believe that estimate is based on 5-minute increments, so it could be anywhere between 16 minutes and 20 minutes. And it'll say it's going to be 20 minutes. As soon as it flips over to 21, it'll say 25 minutes, and so on and so forth. So it's very possible that it wants me there for 16 or 17 minutes. We'll see when we get there. It says autopilot navigation complete. It's actually up one more block. So we'll see what happens. Oh, it makes the turn. That's good. Train around here somewhere. All right. I'm gonna park us because it's a slanted parking spot. There's that. All right, now the car is preconditioning for supercharging. I want to see if I put it on. Sorry, gotta put it in park. I would like to see that if I put it on dog mode, will it continue preconditioning? It's not saying that it is. I'm going to leave the camera running just in case. I'm going to run in and get something to eat. I'll be right back. I'm going to assume that didn't work. But what else? It was a nice experiment. It really likes to hit the brakes harder than it needs to at those stop signs for some reason. Oh. Okay, let's see how long it really wants to charge. Legit is 20 minutes this time. No big deal. I'll be here for a little bit longer than that. So I have a nice little buffer. All right, I'll see you guys in a sec. As promised, I have overcharged. Surprise, surprise. It wanted me to stop at 72%. It was at the 18-minute mark when it told me I had enough to continue. I'm at 80%, and it thinks I'll get to the hotel at 21%. So totally fine. I've got 30 minutes and 26 miles to get to the hotel, not the hotel, the next facility, and I'll get there at 71%. I'm sitting at 80 right now. See how the car does in getting me out of here. It doesn't. Oh, we're going this way. We usually go that way. I'm okay with it. This is probably better. We get out at a light instead of trying to fight traffic. So I'd say that was a good move. Creeps through that opening nice and slowly. Also a good move. And we've got a green light. And we go. And we should be over here. It likes to turn from the driving lane and ignore the turning lane for some reason. 65 when we entered the highway. Not good enough. I know there's a semi there, but we could have been going a little faster and gotten over here a little sooner. 76 and a 75 in hurry mode. Yeah. So it's going faster. It's just taking its sweet time to get up to that faster. I am really surprised that the hurry mode is getting back over. Granted, there's no one around, and I understand why it is, but there's been plenty of times where hurry stayed in that lane no matter what. So this is great behavior. If this is the case, I might leave it on hurry mode. So for this exit, it's completely legit for the car to slow down on the highway because it's a short exit ramp and the curve is very tight. So you have to slow down a lot. Makes sense that it would slow down on the highway, but not for that first one that we saw. Could go if it goes now. It's thinking about it. Changing its mind. That's okay too. Semi's coming. After this car, we can go. Yeah, semi's way back there. All right. We just hit 62. It took us about a mile and a half to get there. And the way that Hurry performs on the back roads, for me, is a little better than the way Standard performs. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I don't have to worry about the car going under the speed limit as much. It still does, just not as drastic. It will decide to get up to in Michigan, normal speed on Hurry. It just takes its sweet little time getting there. So if it would decide that this is the correct speed, which was 62 and is now 65, it was that sooner. If it decided to get to that speed sooner, I would think FSD was great. And yes, being back dead center of the road, that's amazing. Makes me feel tons better. So blinker, we're still going full speed. We could go around. Car chooses to wait. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything massively wrong with that. It just wasn't human-like. A human would have maybe let off the accelerator a little bit and then taken the passing lane. Maybe the AI trainers haven't shown Tesla FSD that behavior enough to go around cars when you can. Even on this shoulder that's over here, you can use that as a passing. If people are turning into these driveways here, you could get over on the shoulder and go around them. You can. Car wouldn't do it. Now the problem here is 65 is too much. All right. So I'm going to set my max from 77 until it drops down to 62. If it will. So Hurry just doesn't care. It's going to go the max no matter what. So I'll put it on 62 and see what happens. I'm afraid that when I do that, the next time it wants to accelerate up to a certain speed, it's going to stop well below the 62 max. What happens if I touch the speed limit sign? It sets the max back to 77. Okay, I'll put that back to 62. So that's how you reset the max speed if you mess with it. Just touch the speed limit sign. Driving down the middle here. All right. Wasn't sure if it was going to pick a lane or not. We're doing 53. We're going to hit a 35. We're in a 35. It's slowing down, getting over to the correct lane. Still too fast in a 35. So I dropped the max to 40. Slowed down to 38. That's better. Yeah, 13 over is crazy. Technically, I'm supposed to keep right here. The blinker is a little unnecessary, but I suppose I can appreciate it. It is trying to... No, it's not. I was thinking it was going to try to park in one of these slanted parking spots. I was going to be impressed. But here we are. That looks good to me. See, that leg of the trip was 27 miles. It took 29 minutes. 252 watt-hours per mile. We're back to normal. I'm assuming the car was cooling off the battery if it was doing anything to get it back to a normal operating temperature. We are sitting at 44 degrees outside. Next facility is 71 miles away. It'll take 1 hour and 24 minutes to get there. I should arrive at 47%, assuming that I still have 71% when I leave this facility. Let's hope this one goes nice and smoothly, and I'll see you guys in just a sec. All set in there. That was less than the hour that it usually is, so I'm quite impressed. Off we go. Should get there at 47%. That's not going to work. There we go. This lane is clear. We can go. Almost did. There we go. Oh, I thumbsed up. Like I'm Black Tesla or something. I'd be more like Caramel Tesla. Guess this is something you have to put up with when you're on hurry on the back roads, is that follow distance is way shorter than what I'm used to since I got the car, because I was always on 12.5.4. Whatever. No, I started at 12.5.3. But those two versions, it never wanted to get this close to this the leading car. I'm not saying that this is an uncomfortable follow distance, but it's just closer than the car has usually driven, so it's a little disconcerting. And there we go again. Stopping way late. It's like the second I tense up to take over because I don't think the car's going to stop, it stops. Someone behind me. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, go, go. See, just the smallest little tap and it realizes, oh, I am going slow. Let me boost on up there. Nervous about that truck in the intersection, but he was far back from the road. Didn't attempt to slow down or anything. Just threw out the beeps. Let it be, I guess. No yelling that time. What? Oh, that's twice. What is it doing? Do you just not see a stop sign and you freak? I mean, I don't understand that. I could clearly see that person was stopping. Brake lights, turn signal, still barreling down. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Jeez Louise. Did you see how fast that went from 62 to 9, 7? It's crazy. Still went right up to 62 again. 41 and a 45. 42. This is going to be a 55. It's right in the line. No, it's picking this lane. But still, 43. All right. That is frustrating. And it's not just frustrating to me, it's frustrating to the fellow drivers on the road behind me who get stuck going 43 and a 55. Now I'm going to adjust the max back down to 62. Before we came through this town that we just left, I had it at 62 and it stayed at 62. When it reset itself back up to 77, it wants to go 57, which I'm fine with. I just wish it was consistent. I was 72 miles. It took me an hour and 22 minutes. We were down to 243 watt hours per mile. That's pretty amazing. So what happened was the car preconditioned the battery for supercharging. Then it supercharged. So the battery was nice and toasty. It didn't have to waste energy trying to warm the thing up. I'm assuming that's why I got better watt hours per mile this leg of the trip. Let's see. It still thinks I'm trying to come here. So let me edit this. Let me just end the whole thing. Next place is 95 miles away. It should take me an hour and 30 minutes. I should get there at 17%. There is a supercharger right across the street from the hotel. I won't go there first. I'll go to the hotel first. It is 4:11. That's like 4 minutes earlier than predicted, which is fantastic. I should be out of there by 5 o'clock, I hope, which means I'll get to the hotel at 6:30. I started today rather late, so this is all my fault. I'm going to see if I can mess with the settings on the camera to get you at least a somewhat decent view of the night drive that's about to happen. If not, I'll just cut it off here. Either way, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm about 15 minutes late. Whatever. I played with the camera settings. It should look brighter than what I can see out here, but it'll probably be really grainy too. So either way, it is what it is. I still have an hour and a half to drive 95 miles. I should get there at 17%. Enough playing around. Let's get up out of here. Oh, my windows. I would like to see a rainy nighttime drive, or record one rather. So we'll see what happens. I do need to put on some defrost because, damn. And it already says one or more of the cameras may be occluded. These are clear, so it could be the side pillar cameras. And in fact, if no one pulls up, I will check those. So it went around the puddles there. I'm going to put it in park so I can see the cameras. I don't know if anyone knows, but you can go down here to service and then there's camera preview. No one's behind me yet. So that's me in black and white. So there's the right door pillar. It looks okay. And here's the left door pillar. That looks better than the right. So that is a little bit messed. In fact, I'm just going to go quickly wipe that off. I'll be right back. That looks better. I'm sure it won't stay that way, but it was worth doing. There, I showed you something else. Back at it. Oh, and it goes on its own. Is it because it's on the street? There was a car coming, but it didn't care. It's pulling in front of that car. Oh, dearie dear. All right, it's poor weather detected this time. Yellow light, yellow light. I didn't push on it. I was going to, but I didn't. I'm hoping when we get some speed, all of these small raindrops that are like here, they're all over every window. All of these, I'm hoping that they'll coalesce and then run off the car. One could only hope. So we're coming into a 55. Car recognizes it. We're doing 40. And this is still poor weather. It doesn't say anything about the cameras. We turn on the back. Front and back defrost. Speeding up to 50. There is a car behind me. I'm going to put us down to 62. And then I'm going to step on it. That camera's starting to look like crud. That one's doing its dancy jig thing. Yeah. But it's not complaining about cameras being occluded yet. Just the poor weather detected. Car applied the brakes appropriately that time. Glad to see that. This is going to be a problem in the fog. You shouldn't turn on your brights because that actually reduces visibility. So let's hope it doesn't do that if the fog gets any thicker. Oh, staying in the right lane. That's impressive. I didn't even see that coming, and the car did. So that's awesome. I might be crazy, but I think you guys can see better in the camera than I can see with my eyes right now. Which is kind of funny. We have dropped to 40 degrees. We're still doing 245 watt hours per mile. It's not as good as the leg there, but it's not as bad as the other two legs have been so far. This message still says nothing about the cameras being occluded. It's just saying poor weather detected. We are speeding up while we're slowing down. It could pass. It is passing. All right. It needs to hurry up, though, because this is not going to last forever. I'm going to step on it. I was fine with it doing 55 back there, but when it decided that it wanted to pass and didn't speed up, I was nervous that it wouldn't pass that person by the time this passing zone ends. So I didn't want to make them feel some kind of way, so I just sped up. Now I have a feeling it's just going to stay at 62 now, which I'm also fine with. We're coming up to a 40, so I'm going to reduce the max preemptively. And then when it sets it to 40, it'll put it back to 56 and we'll do 46. Oh, it didn't like something right there. Camera aborted for camera visibility. Let me put it back in. We're doing 36 and a 40, but a 30 is coming up, so it's all right. So we should actually be going slower. We're slowing down. I would like 33. There, we're getting there. Yep, it touched the line there, but that's okay. Got down to the 33 that I prefer. And a 40 now. Up to 35. It is increasing its speed. There is someone behind me, a little ways back there. But if we stay at 35 and a 40, they'll definitely catch up quickly. We're on the right side of the lane. The car even knows it. Now we're on the turning lane. Car knew that too. Still going slowly. Those back cameras look... Oh, yeah. It is all over the road. Get back on the road. There we go. This is quite possibly the hardest test for FSD. Still right in the right lane. It's correcting itself. No, it's still on the right. Now we're in the 55. We're still doing 39. All right, I'm going to make sure we're at 62. And as soon as I started messing with the max, it sped up a little bit. So it's up to 43. We're back in the middle of the lane. And I'm going to step on it because there is a car behind me. So I give it a little bit. I put my foot back, and it got itself back up to where it needs to be. And it's back in the middle of the lane. So I don't know if it was the city lights that were bothering it or what, but that wasn't the best lane keeping that I've ever seen. Oh, here we go. Autopilot aborted for camera visibility again. It's letting me back in. All right, there's someone behind me, and I don't mind going a little bit faster. So I will encourage the car. And it does what I expected it to do. Perfect. Just being cautious for this intersection, which is good. My arrival percentage has dropped to 12, but my watt hours per mile is also way down to 226, which is up to the 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is amazing. But I don't know why the projected arrival percentage is dropping. But I'm not wrong. It said 17% when I left the facility, right? It's probably the defrost. That's probably what's doing it. I'm going to switch this back to standard. And the max is at 75. The max is the speed limit. It's probably because of the weather. The car is no longer dropping my arrival percentage. It's at 11. I turned off the front defrost. I think that's what it was. That's unfortunate. Arrival percentage still says 11. So it definitely was the defrost. That's very unfortunate. What if you need that and all it does is kill your battery? Like, if I didn't figure that out, I probably would be pulling in pretty close to dead. There are cheaper cars than this that have adaptive cruise control that can still keep a speed where if there's not a car in front of it, something in front of it that's slowing it down, it goes the speed you set it to. I didn't set the car to that whatever speed. It chose that speed, but then it decided that, no, I'm going to slowly creep down. It does that repeatedly, no matter what I tell it to do. So if I tell it to speed up, it says, okay, and then slows right back down. Speed up, okay, and then it slows right back down. Speed up, okay, and then it slows right back down. You don't get that in other cars. All right. That is going to be that. That leg was 108 miles. It took me an hour and 45 minutes because I screwed up and went to the wrong hotel. Boy. Since I left Clare at the charger, I went 207 miles, used 52 kilowatt hours of power, and averaged 250 watt hours per mile. That last leg was 254 watt hours per mile. Thoughts on today? I think the car, per usual, didn't pick the correct speed. It's hitting the brakes way too hard. It's following a little bit closer than I would appreciate. In the dark and in the rain and in the fog, it was actually touching the lines on the road, so it was drifting out of its lane. Not so much fun there. Some of the good things, it actually did pretty well considering that it couldn't see in the rain and in the dark. I'm kind of impressed by that. The efficiency in the cold was a lot better than I expected it to be. It was between 41 and 45 today. And it didn't do terrible. 250 watt hours per mile is exactly 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's awesome. Can't complain about that. It did a great job rerouting when the driver put in the wrong destination. I thought that was awesome too. And believe it or not, the field of view of the headlights I never noticed that before, but it's wide. It's super wide. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. Go ahead and leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns down in the comment section below, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Deuces. Brightness up just a smidge. You click here, there. See if that's any better. It is. It's like sunset at 3 o'clock. It's crazy.